In today's program, we'll go to the Kazakhstan Grappling Cup and talk to the rising star of professional boxing, Daniyar Eleusinov. You will also receive a masterclass from an ex-player of the Kazakhstan national football team. Welcome to the Kazakhstan Grappling Cup. Today the first players of the national team are determined here. They will represent the country at the Asian Championships. Here there are more than 300 athletes from all regions of Kazakhstan. We will tell you why grappling is considered to be so fashionable. Sportsmen win either by points or they finish ahead of schedule, or with a 15 points difference. It's a victory with a clear advantage. Yes. How long does the match last? It lasts 5 minutes. The competition has 3 levels: beginners, amateurs and professionals. So grappling is a mixture of different kinds of wrestling, all kinds, from judo to sambo and jiu-jitsu.
Кубок Казахстана является мастерским турниром.
Kazakhstan Cup is a master tournament. This means that the result at this championship gives the title of Master of Sports of Kazakhstan.
Мастер спорта Республики Казахстан.
Grappling originated in the USA. The first competitions were held in 1995. Although a similar mix of different styles of wrestling existed already at the beginning of the 20th century.
Есть один очень знаменитый момент его жизни.
Our Kazhmukan Munaytpasov participated in one of such tournaments. There is one famous moment in his life when they were in China. He had a fight with a master of jiu-jitsu. This fight was lethal for the master of jiu-jitsu. In fact, it was in the format of MMA. Everything was allowed. In our competitions, it is not allowed to hit with elbows, arms and legs.
Условно, удары какие-то ногами, руками, локтями и так далее.
We already have the first winner. The sportsman's name is Darkan. He performed in the weight category of up to 71 kilograms. Congratulations on your victory. Everything went fine. There were 3 fights and you got 3 victories. I have been training for only a year. Thanks to the coach and my team, we managed to win. Which region of Kazakhstan is the strongest today? I can't say anything specific. The capital shows good results. Almaty is doing very well too. The Grappling World Championship was held in Astana in September, where the national team of Kazakhstan performed quite successfully, winning the second team place among 24 national teams. Along with the young men, young women show good results too. They are absolutely not afraid of intensive loads. Galia Seldayeva is the champion of Asia. She also proved her status at the Kazakhstan Cup. I chose grappling because there is no great risk of serious injury, no bruises. For girls, it is especially important. Grappling in recent years has gained very powerful momentum. In almost all regions of the country, we have representatives of the federation. What is the main difference between grappling and jiu-jitsu? Generally speaking, grappling and jiu-jitsu have a lot in common. There are certain differences in rules. If in grappling it is encouraged to fight in the rack, then in jiu-jitsu the whole fight can take place on the ground. Coming up next, the Olympic boxing champion Daniyar Eleusinov will talk about working with Eddie Hearn, about his new coach and his life in the United States. In his last bout in 2018, Daniyar Eleusinov defeated Nicaraguan Marcos Mojica by technical knockout in the 3rd round. He has 5 fights and he still goes unbeaten. He is considered one of the most promising professionals in his weight. Daniyar, hello. We're glad to see you in Astana. How are you? Everything is fine. I came to rest. When is the next fight?
Следующий бой примерно планируется
в феврале.
The next fight is planned in February, in the middle or at the end. I will leave in January so that I have time to prepare.
Чтоб где-то 1,5 месяца у меня времени было, чтобы подготовиться.
You have been in professional boxing for almost a year now. How much your life has changed?
Ну, профессиональный бокс сам по себе это другая жизнь в плане спорта.
Professional boxing is another life in itself. You can even say another sport. There are more rounds, other gloves, the organization is different. Boxing night is more of a show. Interesting. I like everything.
Это шоу больше. Интересно, мне нравится все.
Did your training loads increase? Every professional boxer is on his own. He's trained separately. He does not depend on the promoter in this regard, as in our national team. You must be at the training camp. If you're in the national team, we do not have it here. Every boxer prepares on his own. The main thing he needs is a date and a limit in the weight category. You have a lot of trips. You train in different halls. You spend 2.5 months in the USA.
Тренинг камп, как говорится,
The training camp is in Florida, in Miami, in Boca Raton. The last time I was in Del Rey. Very nice and comfortable hall. Everything a boxer needs is there.
Для боксера все, что нужно, там есть, в принципе.
In early 2017, you were going to become a professional boxer. Why it didn't work back then?
Те же ребята, в принципе, обращались, мои же менеджеры, которые являются.
It was the same person who is my manager now. The contract was very good in terms of money. They paid good money for the fights. After the competition, it was an ideal situation to get such a contract. It was an Australian company. It had no money. No one knew about it. Investors should have been Chinese, as I understood. At the last moment, they refused to work with my manager, because apparently they had no money. He had no money too, so I had to break the contract.
И контракт разорвать пришлось тоже.
Are you satisfied with your collaboration with Eddie Hearn? I'm very satisfied. I'm pleased that these guys tried to get me a good contract. He's a professional in his field. You can see it easily. He has a boxing evening every month. This is a crazy schedule. What do professional boxers need? They need fights, frequent bouts in principle. It suits perfectly well with what I want. How many fights you still need to go to the championship fights?
Сейчас у меня идут рейтинговые бои.
Now I have rating battles. In the future, 10-round fights suggest that you will fight at the regional, then intercontinental fights. I think that as soon as I begin to fight for such a belt, my career will go up faster.
Начну за пояс уже драться, региональный, потом интерконтинентальный, и дальше уже побыстрее пойду.
Out of the 5 bouts in the pro ring, which one was the hardest for you?
Непонятный соперник был во втором бою.
An incomprehensible opponent was in the second battle, because it was replaced for me 2 days before the fight. The rival with whom I was going to fight originally received a cut. He was replaced by another of his compatriot from Hungary. He's very experienced, unpredictable boxer. He's not a top boxer, but he knows how to box. He's a real fighter. He was brought to some fights in order to lose, but he left with a victory. Such rivals are very dangerous. They have nothing to lose.
Такие соперники очень опасные, честно говоря. Им нечего терять.
Who came up with the nickname Kazakh Thunder? And does it have a story? This nickname was suggested by Eddie himself. We did not mind. We supported the Kazakh Thunder, so it went on from day one. Is Terence Crawford the most important rival in your weight? I consider him the strongest and the most important, although he moved from a lighter weight class. Did you feel flattered when he made a video message addressed specially to you? Not really. It was such a PR move by Eddie. In professional boxing, people are not particularly aware of me and Kelly. This is a PR move by Eddie. So that people think about who is the guy Crawford was talking about. They will search for information about us, new promising boxers in this weight category. This is advertising for us, not for Crawford. He has already been to the top of boxing. We still have to get there.
Кроуфорд-то и так уже на вершине боксер, в принципе. И побывал там. Нам это, дай бог, предстоит.
What do Western people think about Kazakhstan boxers?
К казахстанским бойцам очень хорошо себя относятся. Благодаря...
They have nice attitude towards us. Thanks to Golovkin, they know that we have a good school here. They know that we are very strong guys who are ready to fight till the end. There was a new intrigue, your confrontation with Joshua Kelly. When it will be possible to see this fight? I do not know the answer to this question. Depends on how our careers will develop. Fans may be interested in it, but promoters are more interested in it to be a more serious fight, not a rating one. He grew up to be a good boxer. Yes, he has evolved and became a real professional. I agree.
Меня готовит мой папа, и сейчас подключили американского тренера Джона Дэвида Джексона.
My dad is training me. Now we work with American coach John David Jackson. He lives in Miami. He used to be a boxer. He was a world champion once. At first, Dad didn't like how he taught. He was very protective of me. He thought that I already knew a lot of things, that I am an Olympic champion. But then they started talking to him. He understood and started to work in this direction, even if he is still very protective of me. He explains why we're doing it this way.
Начал уже в этом направлении работать. Если даже лапу держит, он уже объясняет, почему это все делается.
Daniyar, how many years in total have you been boxing? 18 years. I started boxing when I was 9 years old. I entered the ring for the first time. Did your father foreshadow your fate? I cannot say it was my father. My father and my brother Dauren, they always went to the gym, but they didn't want me to become a boxer. But I couldn't keep up with them. I always followed them. Visually, I just looked at them from the side. Once I put on gloves, they put me in pairs, and I was able to do it easily. My father noticed that I can become a good boxer. Is your brother Dauren training now too?
Dauren, да, сейчас он в Вегасе.
Yes, he's in Las Vegas now. He's training to be a boxer. In the near future, I think you will hear about him too.
Он сейчас просто без менеджера, без промоутера остался.
He just left without a manager and promoter, so he first wants to find a manager to resume his career.
Можно было бы карьеру возобновить, продолжить уже боксировать.
How important is it for you to finish the fight ahead of time?
Если момент наступил, если ты попал.
If this moment has come, if you hit, it is advisable not to let go. Nobody wants to let go. You do not know how the fight will turn out. You can't count on a knockout. You need to be ready to work out all the rounds, but always being alert. For the public, for the fans, it is interesting. They come for blood.
Они за этими приходят, за кровью.
What is your main goal in your professional career? My main goal is to win the world title, because in amateur boxing, I won everything. Do you have a favorite boxer, the man you most respect in boxing? There are several such boxers. I really like Sugar Ray Leonard, Muhammad Ali, Pernell Whitaker. The fight in the world of boxing which you remembered for a lifetime. Of course, old battles were remembered for us. Now there are a lot of them. Tyson Holyfield? More like Ali Foreman. As far as I know, you do charity work. In 2016, you gave part of the award from the state to the Fund for Children with Cerebral Palsy. Yes, it was in Uralsk. Akim of the city gave me a bonus, and I gave this money to children. A year later, I visited them when I came to Uralsk. I received an offer. There was a request to help. We decided not to refuse. We always try to support a good cause.
И мы решили, не задумываясь, за благое дело мы всегда за.
And what is most valuable for you in life?
Самое ценное – это, я думаю, семья.
My family, I think. My son, my parents, the people who surround me. And yet, my faith in God, in Allah. I do not consider myself saint. And I do not advocate for religion.
Я себя святым, конечно, не считаю и не пропагандирую.
In one of the interviews, you said that it is very important to become famous and rich. I don't know when I said that. Maybe I was young. Although, why not? Why does not want to become rich and successful? No one chooses this kind of sport from a good life. I dreamed of becoming an Olympic champion. I've seen how these people are respected and valued. Yes, and in financial terms, they're all well off. Do you communicate with other professional boxers who come from Kazakhstan? Ivan Dichko, Jibek Alimkanulu. I talk to all of them. They're my colleagues, who went with me to the Olympics, World Championships. We are in touch with them. At any time we can see each other. Thank you very much for the interview. Thank you. Next, Maxim Samchenko will share his principles of work as a children's football coach. For 25 years, I was a professional football player. I've been training other players for the third year already. I like it. Everything seems to be working out. The Academy of Karaganda Football Club, Shakhtar. Among these guys are the future stars of the Kazakhstan Premier League. Someone might be able to become famous outside the country. Boys come, they want to train. We have a team of 20 to 30 people at every age group. In spite of that, we have a lot of boys who want to become part of the team. Boys need to start training professionally at the age of 7, and some wake up at 15 and want to become football players. It's impossible. Only in some very unique cases. First of all, local coaches pay attention to 3 components: coordination, agility and speed. To begin with, children are taught the basics of football: to pass the ball, take the ball and shoot the goal. Over the years, requirements for physical training have also increased.
Наша задача поставить сначала для дубля, команду дублеров.
Our task is to put players for a second team. From there we move on to the main team. If from one generation there will be a maximum of 2 to 3 players, then it is already good. 3-4 is wonderful. There were examples. A guy came that year. He's 14 years old. He has no base, and when he started playing, he was perfect. You sign a contract with him. And there are guys who have been training since they are 7 years old, but still, it is not their sport.
Ребята, которые по 7 лет ходят, но это не их. Во-первых, мы их убираем со дворов.
First, we take them away from the courtyards, in order not to wander around.
Можно сделать на этом карьеру.
They can build a career in football, they can make a living, but not many will be able to do it.
Не у многих это получается.
In winter, children go to the indoor arena and play by the rules of futsal. Older guys go to the training camp, where they can prepare for the games in the green fields. They say the players earn a lot, but with blood and sweat, you need to train every day. And at this level, it is hard to keep up with everyday training. They can get injuries. This happens in any sport. Without a desire, nothing will happen. If you have talent, but no desire, there's no chance. You need to have both desire and work. It is the only way to become a big player. The video of the week concludes our program. American Richard Branning gathered his friends to help him set a new world record. 30 3-point hits in 1 minute. Richard did it in slippers.